We got a very special guest on the phone lines this morning, as per the usual, a Wednesday at 7:30.
That's right. Good morning, Dr. Lofton.
Hey, good morning.
Excellent. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Beautiful morning.
Yes, gorgeous.
I know that you've known Jay for a very long time.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So maybe I don't have to do this, but I was just thinking I should have forewarned you that, he's feeling a little crazy this morning. But you probably already know that. So.
Not surprising, huh?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, it's National Redhead Day and National Donut Day.
Yeah.
Those two things together are pretty sugary and fiery.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
Well, Doc, we appreciate you joining us. It's always a pleasure. Everything going well over here in Broken Bow at the new spot?
Yeah. Still, we do have openings. Trying to grow that and get patients in. I do tell people with basketball season now, my schedule has to flex a little because of basketball games, and so we have some days I have to leave early or shift the schedule around, but we do try to get everybody taken care of.
I seen a very special lady in your office the other day, and she said, "I've been listening to this doctor on the radio." I said, "You'll love him. You will love him."
Nice.
So.
Very cool. Very cool. I like that.
Yeah. It's 100%. Good.
New people, people that maybe knew my grandparents or knew, played football or knew my dad back in the day. So it's always neat. The stories.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely. Well, we had a couple of questions that popped up, Laney J.
Well, I was telling him about it. There was a gentleman that asked about fever when you get the flu, as opposed to fever with, like, if you have a cold or you got some sinus issues going on. That sometimes you get a fever with that, sometimes you don't. But is it the same rules that go along that with, like, the 24-hour fever and stuff?
Yeah, so fever is the body's response to something, out kind of trying to harm your body. Usually it's a virus or so your common cold and COVID and the common cold flu are caused by viruses. And that's the most common cause of fever that most of us have. Now, bacterial infections, that's where you could have a urinary tract or a bladder infection, maybe the stomach, the stomach bug is typically a virus, but there are some bacteria. So, we've all heard of salmonella, things like that, E. coli, or pneumonia. Those are bacterial causes of fever. So the body is telling you something's not right. And the bacterial causes are going to need antibiotics. The viral causes, they just need a little TLC, basically. And the Tylenols and ibuprofens do have anti-fever properties in them. But the body is, when the body produces fever, that's the body's way of trying to kill these viruses or bacteria, because most of them have a very, very narrow window of temperature that it can survive in. And so when the body produces fever up to, say, 101, 102, even 103, that's the body's attempt to kill what is inside of you. And so fever itself makes us feel bad, but it's actually not a bad thing. And nobody has ever, at least been documented, to die of fever. Now, people, when you hear a heat stroke, that's people being out in the sun or being in a car that's too hot, stuff like that. That is dangerous for the body. But the fever itself is not dangerous for someone. So if we can bear through the uncomfortableness, it's actually the body's way of trying to kill what's inside of us.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great explanation.
I like that. So don't fear the fever as much. All right. I like it. Yeah.
It really does. And we don't really call until it's over 100.5 and above. It's really, we don't even consider it much of a fever until it gets over that. But it does mean you're probably contagious. So yeah, that 24-hour rule usually applies. There are many viruses out there that you're contagious before the fever and after. But in general, we say we want you to be fever-free for 24 hours before you kind of back into public to keep from spreading whatever you have.
So I've always heard if you have a fever over 103 degrees, your brain is starting to bake inside your body. Get to the hospital immediately. That's not quite the case?
Yeah, not true. No. There's, again, outside of somebody being in a, say if you've got a baby that you've got just wrapped up and they're having fever, their own body could cause them to get hot. But in general, when people have fever, you can put a cool rag on their forehead. You don't want to just be super wrapped up, but yeah, fever itself is not dangerous for the body.
And to clarify, he did say 100.5 was the mark when they start considered actual fever.
0.5, yeah. So 99.5, even up to 100. That's what we call, very low grade. Yeah, it's 100.5 and above when you're like, yeah, you got something going on.
So if you're like you said, so if you're rocking that 99.5 or 100, your body's doing what it needs to do. So let it do it.
Yep. Even when you get to the 102, 103 range, your body is still doing what it needs to do. It is not dangerous to have a fever that high. Your brain is not going to cook.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
for
good.
clarifying that, actually.
See, you guys are okay.
Yeah. So the fever isn't okay.
Yep. Now that's different if somebody's out in the sun working hard and their body's cooking because of the ambient heat. That's different than your body producing its own fever.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Versus what the body can do itself versus like the sun is creating extra there. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Awesome. What else do we have over there, Laney J?
That's all I had.
I did have the one question that popped up today. This new study shows the new AI-powered Apple Watches are actually detecting. It says here that they're detecting heart disease accurately around 88%, up to 88%. So now my watch, we've talked about this before, Doc. My watch would keep track of like my heart rate as I'm sleeping. It would tell me I had a lower than normal heart rate. And it meant, and of course, at that time, the Apple explanation said it's one of two things. You may have something heart related or you are, very active and at the level of, of athlete, if you will. And because I train a minimum of 3 times a week. So I figured I just stay active enough that my heart isn't having to work as hard while I'm sleeping. So my question to you is, have you heard anything about the new AI-powered Apple Watches? And do you utilize any kind of detecting like a wristwatch or even like what are those things that count your steps and stuff? I forgot the name of them. Yeah. Do you use any of that type of stuff?
Yeah. Well, so I had an Apple Watch that I would use to track heart rate and my heart rate zones when I worked out. It is at the bottom of Broken Bow Lake after my last outing with my cousin Ray Gaston. That was not his fault.
Well, anytime Ray's involved, it was probably somewhat his fault.
That's
I'm
right.
kidding.
He can get you in trouble, I hear. But no, so I'm real interested. I have read about this. I'm probably going to get the new Apple Watch.
Nice.
Guess fine. But yeah, so those have what they call a single lead EKG. When you get an EKG in the hospital or at the clinic, we have what we call 12 leads, or it's more, it's showing a lot more. But yeah, the new technology has a lot of predictive power. It's not 100% accurate, but it's really interesting. So we, like at our clinic, if you're a Medicare patient, a patient of ours with high blood pressure, we have these blood pressure monitors where it gives people, and they check their blood pressure at home, and it sends us readings at the office. And it has a feature that's supposed to be coming out where people can put their thumbs on the device, and it sends a single lead EKG to the office.
Wow.
And so
that's awesome.
We're high blood pressure is one of what I call a silent killer, and the new watches are supposed to also be able to check your blood pressure. I haven't seen how accurate it is. I'm curious on that, but
wow.
But yeah, we're excited about the future of that, and Medicare is paying for some of these devices now. So if there's anybody out there with high blood pressure that's not well controlled, please come see us and let us take care of you.
Nice. No, I like that. At first I was like, I don't care to have that any kind of new Apple Watch or whatever, but I might actually, since it's got all these capabilities, I might checking all my stuffs, because my mom had high blood pressure in her 40s, and that caused a weakened heart for her later in life. So, and blood pressure has been an issue for many of my family. So stuff like strokes are in my family history as well. So, things that go abnormal when you're wearing a device like that, it may be able to alert you, say, hey, something's wrong. You may not be feeling it right now. Go ahead, Laney.
No, I was reading about it. It says that they don't measure blood pressure directly, but what they do is they analyze your blood vessel patterns over a 30-day period. And they send you a notification if it detects high blood pressure patterns. That is cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is, and they do have wrist blood pressure monitors. They're not generally as accurate as the ones that go in your upper arm, but that technology is allowing them to monitor and make predictive assumptions based off what it's seeing.
I like it.
So it's impressive in technology.
Yeah, it is definitely.
It does say that if you have a Apple Watch Series 9 and later, or Ultra 2 and later, that you can do a software update with those models with the S9 chip, and you'll have that available.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not just exclusive to the new ones. I like that.
That makes me feel good. I got a 10. I'm going to see if I can update mine.
Mine's lost, so I've got to get me a new one.
Yeah, you need a new one. You should have made Ray buy you one. Like, you should have blamed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have.
Driver of the boat,
Exactly. See, we knew there was something. He was protecting him because he's family. No.
We have a listener saying that when she lost weight, her watch detected that her average resting heart rate had lowered.
Nice.
So, yeah, and I'm sure it sent her an alert. Yeah, because mine does that. It monitors the heart rate, so that's good.
It really should, yeah. When you get I had a friend in Tulsa that was got him cycling, and his heart rate has dropped dramatically, lost a lot of weight, got off of blood pressure medicine, and that's the goal when we do that stuff.
We have another person mentioning they have high blood pressure. Do you do that specifically? I mean, can you work with someone to try to help them get their blood pressure down?
Yeah, that's one of my, that and diabetes and weight loss are kind of what I'm passionate about, depression, anxiety. But yeah, that's what I don't want to say specialize in, but we really work hard. We're part of a program with American Heart Association to help get blood pressure down and yeah, so we work really hard. So yeah, we'd love if you've got high blood pressure and it's not where it needs to be, 120s over 70s is where it should be. If you're not there, let us help you get there.
Well, the number she gave seems a lot higher than that. So 250 over 200?
Yeah, hers is.
Wow.
That's like hospital level. You need to go to the hospital if it's that high. But we definitely want to help somebody if their blood pressure is that high.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Doc, if someone's listening now and they're like, you know what, I got a little high blood pressure. Maybe I need to see what Doc can help me do to get that down. What's that phone number to call or text and make an appointment today?
Yep, 870-642-4000. Call or text that number and say you want to get seen.
We love it. Doc, it's always a pleasure, sir. You have a wonderful day.